was thinking what kind of song to write for the year 2001. Should I compose a nation building song or just blaze them politicians? But when I hear Pandey get 19 seats and he run and give his speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years me Crooks and Panther was busting we liver string. Well, I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved the mistake breaking black man air. They don't hear. So don't expect me to jam your prime minister.
No, don't tell me.
I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever.
I said no, don't tell me.
Cause you ain't do it once, but you did it twice. Elections gone, it's you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Camilla sent she to a school inside the Bitam, and when she bring home the baby father, the man like more sex than Pandey. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve.
You got a government you deserve.
To complain to me now, boy, you got some nerve. You got a government you deserve. Try my best to put sense in black man head. The consequence I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998, I got chastised when I sing my song. But if I did like game, I would have take out she name and deceitfully win me crown. UNC corrupt like hell, but Satmaraj wouldn't say so. As black man open me mouth, he find that man should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised, because I've come to one conclusion: today black man is his own demise. He ain't wise. So don't tell me nothing about the EBC.
No, don't tell me.
Because I know some of you vote for UNC.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me that they cancel the URP, and how you can't get work to maintain your family. So if you end up just like a criminal on the run, because all the promises that they make, they ain't keeping none, and civil servants can't get their back pay, plus yourself can't get a 10 days. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I wouldn't be amazed. My little knowledge now I must preserve.
You got a government you deserve.
To protest of them now will take plenty nerve. You got a government you deserve. It's from the public I get my lyrics. You just give me inspiration. You just give me the strength and courage to slaughter them politicians. But when I see you supporting Pandey and condoning all that is wrong, it's like giving me bread and a full glass of milk, then you turn wrong and kick it down. Pandey call businessmen parasitic oligarchies, but today Jack Warner and do crazy good buddies. What excuse you could have to put him back in power? If you ask Errol McLeod, he'll tell you that man was done a fork-tongue cobra. Yes, sir. Don't tell me Caroni going through hell.
No, don't tell me.
I hear what the man can drink, he planning to sell.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me nothing about the Incogen deal, and how they never give account for the shipload of rice they steal. But if you notice, Carlos have a brand new Beamer, and he delayed the process till he come a minister. this universe show as a gift. Please don't stop me and ask me to confirm, because I plead in the fifth. My little crocodile tried to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
Ask Manning how much money he left reserve. You get a government
You deserve.
Good. Allos. Sugar.
Thank you. I feel sorry for loyal citizens who get caught up in the lacquer. But a fish always rotten from the head. Is Robbie and Pam put him there? Now Pandey get the taste of power. He feel that he's indispensable. Since I sing about his wife, he hate me for life, so they introduce clause 7. I didn't believe Caisonians could be bought easily. I would like to know what's the price they pay for Gypsy. In my humble opinion, his actions was rather slack. I hope he don't say he bad lucky if a man end up riding him back down a track. So don't tell me about going back to school and learn.
No, don't tell me.
When my future was never your
I
concern.
say no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me nothing about being black conscious. When your behavior proved to me you're worse than Judas. So if the PNM end up winning the court session, and you land in jail for signing false declaration, and in the night a big strong prisoner making sure you enjoy your stay, don't bother to write me and tell me that try and contact Pandey, cause the motto now in jail is protect and serve.
You get a government you deserve.
To tell me you get raped, but you got some nerve. You get a government
You deserve.
Sugar. Allos.
I'm appealing to Mr. John Public. Please don't approach me at all. You have a way when government jam you. Is in my ear you want to ball. You had a chance to change wrong the system with your finger of democracy. Pandey promise you harm, but he go get your man for the next 5 years. Wait and see. I'll agree with you if you say the EBC cheat. But no voter pardon scam could give UNC 19 seats. Even though there was corruption, the margin was very small. If you people they do the right thing, Assam couldn't beat Eddie Hart at all. Not at all. Don't tell me 64 billion they steal.
No, don't tell me.
I don't want to hear about the airport deal.
No, don't tell me.
Don't tell me Dan Raj was a fugitive. And how he took 5 million when he went to New York to live. But if for carnival you see quite on in the country, and he playing mass with Omar and Helen Humphrey, and you see quite on hugging up Yet Ming while pointing at the treasury. Don't tell me he's showing him where to thief, cause that doesn't interest me. My little money I'll try to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
So you have regrets now, but you got some nerve. You get a government.
Government you deserve.
What I say? One more. Allos.
My friends make jokes, say Pandey looking for you, but the humor I can't afford. Cause I believe rebellion to a tyrant is truly obedience to God. So when you hear I disperse my venom, it's for me they just want to kill. But I am firm as a wall, they can't stop me at all, cause I'm doing the master's will. I believe was God and it wasn't Pandey who said, nobody are watching. When you go to vote, put your X by the valleys, eh? But like in the days of old, my people didn't take heed. And because now of disobedience, they eat the bread that the devil need because of greed. Don't tell me your roads get bigger pothole.
No, don't tell me.
When they run quick and pave, you felt your strike gold.
No, don't tell me.
Don't tell me about the crime rate in the country. Now that we have a drunkard in charge of security. But if one day you see people running for cover, and you hear Parliament was hijacked by Abubakar, and they say Ramdi I'll sign the paper to make Jack Warner Prime Minister, please don't stop me at no time to explain. Try and convince Abubakar. My little energy I'll try to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
To call back to you don't know, but you got some nerve. You get a government
You deserve.
What? Put your hands together for Sugar Hollow.
By the time people start hearing this song, and they are where they don't get the licks and gone. Some singers like headless chicken in tongue, asking the beats to help them write a new song. But now that the PNM win, Aloes have notes to sing. He can't bite the hand that feed him. Chop does start eating from man in hand. Crow does only attack Indian. I'm the only opposition. So I'm opposing the former health minister who recommended a drug pusher because his family contributed to the party. Yes, I'm opposing. Some say that fella will sell out the own mother, and for anything that is why she call him Selwyn. They tell me that Pirali was a guessing police Christmas party. They decide they go share the work, so they bring the rum and he bring the coke. So me a stupid, me a bending over to nobody. But I'm the leader of the opposition in this country. And if you make any mistake, you're bound to regret. I may forgive, but I won't forget. Ever since Chief Robbie Fire Pandey, alienation, the Indians cry every day. And right now, some Africans in Manning's party, yeah, they're Indians, will defect to the UNC. So when Manning say he couldn't get more Indians in cabinet, well, if he does or not, he'll regret. The two ethnic groups start attacking him. Nimakaram, the Indian saying, while Africans call him Manning Singh. So I'm opposing those in the UNC who bribe Africans to join the party because Kamal's brother wants an Indian prime minister. Yes, I'm opposing. I hope that Patrick Manning avoid racial window dressing. When you choose a man, make sure he is not a sham. Pandey say that Robbie dead as he put that chief cap on Dobby head. The alien Cause you can't be a chief without no Indians. So me a stupid, me a bending over to nobody. But I'm the leader.
And a good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour tonight. Yes, indeed.
Of the opposition in this country. And if you make any mistake,
You're bound to regret. I may forgive, but I won't forget.
you're bound to regret. I may forgive, but I won't forget.
Forget Watchman Arrest Day. A special good night once again to each and every one of you. Those of you joining us via the YouTube, I see you all jumping in. Wait now, where's Chris? Where's Chris London? Yeah, Chris, where are you, man? Usually Chris is the person that does hype it up there and make sure the likes are coming in. Chris, where are you? Yeah, Chris London is usually there with us on a nightly basis, and he's the one that's there, he or she, as I tell you, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but they're the one that has usually handled our vibe. I ain't find to see them for the last few nights and so on. So a special good night once again to each of you, those of you joining us also via Facebook. Hope that you all are having a good one. Yeah, let me know if everything is going all well and okay, because I'm monitoring something from inside here. Yeah, no, the internet is good. It's not the internet. I'm just monitoring something from inside here and a sound that I keep getting, and I'm not sure where that sound is coming from. Let me see if I can trace that. Yeah, let me see if I can trace that.
It is said that now Robinson resign. Secession for Tobago is next in line. And they go jail anyone with a Muslim name. And Robinson wouldn't lose elections again. Chambers get the licks and go, but Robbie think he's indispensable. Well, he's the worst thing from Tobago. I think there is great strength in unity, but if Tobago want to go she ways separately, give us Dwight York and Cape Robbie. Yes, I'm opposing the ex-lady minister. Some call her the Rottweiler, but for clarity, I will simply call she Miss P. Yes, I'm opposing. Our friends make much enemy.
Yes, indeed. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Talking Points is on.
Get so desperate.
We'll get into our full discussions in a little while. Let me make sure the phone lines are up and running as well. Yeah, because I kind of had the phone lines down there for a while. Let me make sure I have it up. Nice. Yeah, so the phone lines are up and running. What did this person send me here? All right. Yes. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Okay. In relation to Mount Sinai. All right.
Of the opposition in this country. And if you make any mistake, you're bound to.
And let me see who's on the Facebook tonight. Linda Imelda Francois, good night to you. James Arnold, Nurse Wendy and McGuire, good night. John Mark, Cynthia Collins, Glenda Smith. I see Cynthia B, Esther Peters, Ingrid Bourne, Errol Bonaparte, Leslie James, Wallan Aqua, Gillian Prescott, Small Axe, what's up, bro? BJ, good night to you. And Maureen Samuel, Enid Dakota, Winnie Simon, Joan Henry, Shemi, good night to you. Meryl George, good night. Charmaine Ragbasing, Rebecca Stafford, Teresa Collymore, Teresa Gill, Jennifer Lewis, right? Sandra Purcell, good night to you. Landon, did I shout you out already? Just in case not, good night to you, Landon. Yeah, Landon Jane and Donna Langdon. Laslyn Douglas, good night to each and every one of you joining us on the Facebook Live, those of you joining us under the YouTube. And I see Gavin Thomas, Debbie Seals, Lishra Abraham, Francis George, Errol Bonaparte, Ruth Chitterman, good night to you, Kathleen Ledlow, Faithlyn Halley Douglas, Gillian Noel, Adrian Watts, good night to you, Mr. and Mrs. Watts. Hope you all are having an absolutely fabulous night tonight. And let me see who's there again. Sky, Fitzroy Philip, Anastasia Buckmeyer, Stephanie John, good night to you and the entire home circle. Dennis Sandy, Carib Spice, Deborah Laborde, Hilary Joseph, Anne-Marie Grant, Christine Otley, Phyllis Mitchell, Elsie Peters, Jefferson Hagley, Art Willie I Am, what a name, Red Girl Pascal, Cicely Celestine, Christine Alexander, Clive Raymond, Rodney Barry, and I see Rosalind Jones Zidhan. I see you there. Arlene, Deborah Flanders, Fitzroy Edwards, Gillian Williams, Kathleen Knights, Velma Pascal, Amanda Moses, Joan Henry, Moko Joseph, Moko Ben, April Fletcher, Joyce Lewis, Cindy Thomas, Raphael Jr. Williams, Chucky McIntyre, and I see Shirley and James, Cynthia Bartholomew, Dominic Antwine, Studio Galaxy, I see you inside. Yeah, Janice Mitchell, Ainol Khan, Imabel Philip, Dalma Scott, Ann Andrews, Jerome Lewis, Jocelyn Matheson, Teresa Joseph, Salam, Sherma Jeremiah. Good night to you, Sherma, and good night to Zila. Yeah, Agatha Williams, Jenny Samuel. Good night to each and every one of you. I hope you all having a wonderful night tonight here.
Party. Yeah.
The phone lines are open. You can call. It's the end of the week. We are reviewing. Well, no, I put a target, a goal on the YouTube. If we reach the goal, we have a Friday night program. If we don't reach the goal, we're not having a Friday night program. So we have a target, 10 chats. If we get that there, we will have a Friday night program. If we don't get it, we're not having the Friday night program. Yeah? All right. So, yeah, make sure.
Man and sing. So I'm opposing those in the UNC who bribe Africans to join the party because Kamal's brother wants an Indian prime minister. Yes, I'm opposing. I hope that Patrick Manning avoid racial window dressing. When you choose a man, make sure he is not a sham.
And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Scott.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're good.
I
Yes.
see something about the alone.
For some reason, I'm not hearing you proper, my brother. I think you may have a bad connection.
You see me now?
I'm hearing you much better now. I hope you're not using a headphone or something. Speak direct into the phone for us, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
see a video talk about La Calum.
Uh-huh.
So what we going to La Calum people and they pay for the house only?
Well, that is what they're telling the folks there. They've measured the houses. They've come up with prices and they're telling the people this is what they're going to have to pay for the homes there in La Colombe. So that's where that's at right now. That's what they're telling them, that they're going to have to pay for homes, and they've come up with different prices. They measure, they say, Lord, what's happening here? They've measured and they've said, this is the price that we're charging for here, this is the price we're charging for there. So that is what's going on with them.
Sheldon Scott, when NP was in power, Kit Mitchell never charged them for no houses in La Calum?
In fact, my friend, back in 2008, those houses came as a consequence of Hurricane Ivan, right?
Yeah, I know about that. I know about that one.
Right, so they were completed. In fact, the new National Party government, I remember when they took some land from various people who were doing farming and things. There's some people who do sugar cane and different things there back in the days.
Yeah.
And the new National Party administration paid the people for their property, and so they paid out. I know people that got money for property they had down there to put that La Colombe housing project. The Venezuelan government then sent in their troops, was Venezuelan soldiers, and so came, and they built that facility. NNP left office in 2008 without handing out their houses. It was the then NDC administration. I think the Minister of Housing at the time may have been Sylvester Corliss. They handed out the homes. When they handed out those houses and so, the folks just paid $2,000 and something or so they paid for the paperwork and so that had to be done for the homes. So these people have been living there all these years with the understanding that they paid that these homes are theirs. In comes this government and decides, hey, we broke, we need our money. We go in and make them people pay for it. No matter what. There's nothing that says that these people, if you so care about them and you want them to have something, You could charge them $1 just to say you charge them. You could charge them $10, but to come and tell people you have to pay 20-something thousand and all kind of thing, and how much thousands upon thousands. Well, I mean, come on,
But
it's
shall
unfair.
I talk about is old people is senior citizens are saying down there. Senior citizens are saying there.
Well, you may know that, I may know that, but it doesn't seem as some people care about that. So then, I mean, they can't be bothered.
Oh gosh, man. I'm sorry for that. I hope they see what going on with that government. I hope they see what going on. I hope they make the same mistake again.
Hope is how could you put it? Hope is a funny thing, eh?
Enjoy your 7 night. I'll be listening to your program for your 7 night.
All
I want that for the program.
Okay, no problem, my brother. All right.
Okay.
Yes, indeed, folks. The phone lines are open. You can call at any point in time. And yes, those homes were, and I'm just looking for the thing here, those homes were built by the Venezuelan government. And they were built between after 2004, so 2005 going up to 2008. Those homes were being constructed. After being constructed, the idea was that those homes would be given to the people who really need it and so on. And the NDC administration came in, they did what they did with the homes and so on. But that was supposed to be the end of that particular story. You're not supposed to have this situation. I'm saying, if you have the homes and you decided, okay, we want to give those homes to people, we want the people and them to fully have ownership of the properties. We don't want a situation where they can't have the papers to take it to the bank and so. You charge them for whatever administrative work that takes place to get that done. But instead of that, they're coming to sell them the property now and telling them they have to pay X amount of money for the property. I find it to be unfair, especially in the case of these people who have been there for all these years. You're speaking of some elderly people. You're speaking about people love him, hate him, don't like him, like Mr. Rollo, who is a differently abled person, who was removed from the seed program. I don't know if they put him back, but he was removed from the seed program. Who is a differently abled person. He might be miserable. He might be troublesome. Some folks may not like his approach to things. Some folks may find him disrespectful. But at the end of the day, his neighbor string buried right here in Grenada, and he is a Grenadian as such. He should be treated with the utmost respect. You can't expect, come on, you will bring a paper for a person like Mr. Rollo to tell him he had to come and pay for property and all kind of thing. That's what you're going to do to the man? You won't go and bring a piece of paper and tell him, Mr. Rollo, you need to pay? Yeah? I mean, I find it to be very, very unfair. Again, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play from my program last year. I'm going to play the video again with what was started last year with La Colombe. I'm going to play the video from, this one is from the 21st of March, 2024, the Talking Points program from that date. I'm going to play it for you all to get a reminder of what was being said during the election campaign to those people. I've seen the situation with La Colombe. I've seen the situation and I've heard of people with what is taking place in La Colombe and that the people are going around and they're asking them. I've seen the letter that people are receiving in La Colombe. Yeah? So I've seen all of that. What? I want to know something though, because certain statements were made during the election campaign. Yeah, let me show you all the letter that the residents of La Colombe received, right? This is from the Ministry of Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Botanical Gardens, St. George, right? There's the phone number and everything. So that's the Ministry of Housing and so. And it's geared towards the residents, La Colombe, and it's signed by Mr. Finley Jeffrey Scholar, the Permanent Secretary with responsibility for community and housing. So Scholar is the Permanent Secretary with responsibility for what's going on there. All right. So it says, please be informed that Mr. Joseph Noel, Housing Consultant, and Mr. Desmond Joseph, Housing Officer within the Ministry of Housing, Community Development, Social Services and Gender Affairs,
will be visiting the Lacolum housing development for the purpose of carrying out a study to determine the direction the ministry should take to provide further title and ownership of residents' property. As a consequence of the foregoing, the two officers will gather information and obtain feedback from you, the residents, by administering a simple questionnaire. Your cooperation and respect in this matter will be greatly appreciated. All right? And that's signed by Scholar, or Mr. Finley Jeffrey, Permanent Secretary within that ministry. Now, folks, before the election campaign, there were meetings that were taking place different places, including in Lacolum. And there were people that were telling the residents of Lacolum, because that is the rumor that was spread to the people inside Lacolum. Lacolum people, all you know, are not lying. The rumor that was spread inside Lacolum was that the NNP going to make them pay for the houses. And they even came up with all kind of figures at 30,000 and so on, and say NNP coming to make all you pay $30,000 for the houses. There were people that stood up there and tell them, don't pay for no house. Because Chavez give us the house, he give Grenada the house. So don't pay nothing. In fact, don't take my word for it. Let's hear it from them themselves. Let me start with this one. Let me see here. Let's start with this one. Let's hear. No, that's the wrong one. Let me see if I can get it. Right. I'm just pulling up the clip here. Let's hear what these people were told. Let's hear what they were told. This is on the campaign trail there in Lacolum. Let's hear what was being said during the meetings in Lacolum. Yeah?
Taken away from the people of Lacolum. What is it the people of Lacolum do to be going through all this tribulation? Up to now, we don't even know if we have the house. I hear we have to start paying for it just now. $30-something thousand supposed to be for it. I don't know if that's true or not. So we don't know if it's true, but we would like to know what is our position. We're concerning owning our little house and having the documents so we could go forward and do our extension.
So that was during the election campaign. This was before the election. NDC meeting. The residents were being told that they had to pay $30,000. The NNP go make it. The NNP had any plan to make all you pay for the place. NNP go make you pay $30,000 for the place. Yeah? So residents of Lacolum, you may or may not remember the individual who is talking there, so you could ask them questions about how they feel about what's taking place now. But let me hear.
We'll be going through all this tribulation. Up to now, we don't even know if we have the house. I hear we have to start paying for it just now. $30-something thousand supposed to be for it.
So here the figure they come with, $30-something thousand. That's what I was telling the people in Lacolum, eh?
Up to now, we don't even know if we have the house. I hear we have to start paying for it just now. $30-something thousand supposed to be for it. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, they didn't know if that is true or not, but they was on the platform, and that is what they were telling people, that all you would have to pay $30-something thousand for the houses. Ain't it? Yeah? That is what they were on the campaign telling you all. Yeah? Let me see what other people had to say about payment for houses and so on in Lacolum. Because Lacolum people, they might be able to find these people and ask them how they think about what they think about what is going on right now. You all may know them. I think they are from your community, so you might be willing to ask them. Behind them is the people that say, come and vote for NDC. You may be willing to ask them now what they think about what is taking place now.
What Mr. Rolu said. I personally was involved in the distribution of the houses in Lacolum. A lot of people don't know that. And the cost of the houses that we charge people were basically to take care of the water and the electricity. This government, present government, can never charge anybody for the houses.
Well, when he said this government, he mean the NNP, like the NNP had any intention. But let me hear what you're saying about the NDC government charging for the houses now. You go say it's not the houses, the land, but it's the same thing, they're charging, isn't it? Yeah.
Present government can never charge anybody for the houses. The houses were given freely.
So this present government could never charge. Remember the words of this individual. You all know where to find him, eh? Nice, right?
This government, present government, can never charge anybody for the houses. The houses were given freely.
All right, and you see, right in the back here, this area there, the person who sit down there is Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Eh? That is Mr. Deacon Mitchell. I know the podium hide in the face, but it's Mr. Deacon Mitchell that sit down in the back there. Look the glasses on the neck there. That is Mr. Deacon that sit down in the back there. when they was talking about the government cannot charge people for the houses. All right, so maybe this man might have to find Mr. Deacon and have a word with him.
This government, present government, can never charge anybody for the houses. The houses were given freely.
All right, so the houses were given freely, yeah, but the excuse they're using now is the land wasn't given freely, so that's how you had to pay for the land. That's what they're saying, isn't it? Yeah, but people in La Colombe are surely listening. All you know how to find these individuals, all you remember them, ain't? All you know where to find them and find out what they had to say, ain't it? Yeah, so do you remember they had a lot to say before the campaign? Yeah, they had a lot to say during that time. So maybe you might want to locate one or two of them and try and find out what it is they have to say about what is taking place now. Are they okay with it? Because a figure 5,000 is being thrown around right now. Yeah, nothing was charged under the NNP, but and the NNP was there for over a decade. They didn't charge for it, but no, with a government that's there 637 days, you're hearing now that you have to pay for the same houses that you're saying nobody had to pay for. So let's hear.
The other thing is somebody made a comment about somebody want to charge us for the houses. Let me allay your fears, brothers and sisters, about these houses inside here. I was in Venezuela, and I heard the Comandante Chavez about 300 meters from where he gave his speech in the presidency, when he declared to the government and people of Grenada he was making a gift of 100 houses. Hear what I tell you? These houses are gifts to us. Hear what I tell you? I was there. Paid for who? Who had to pay for what? Nobody has to pay for any of these houses here. Put that, listen, shove it in them pipe and let them smoke. Not even, listen, no administration, let us be frank, can charge the people living in these 100 houses inside it, built and donated to the people of Grenada by the Bolivarian government of Venezuela. Nobody had paid for it. We had to pay $2,500 to assist in the documentation and the administrative services, the electricity, the water connection, and so on. Mas nada, nothing else. You hear that? Mas nada. That's a gift from the Comandante Chavez. I was there. We don't have to pay a cent, but no, let's go to...
All right, yeah. So all you hear, they don't have to pay a cent. Yeah, I sure they know how to find the individual that day. No, I surely know how to find the individual that day. And I surely know how to find the individual that day, man. Yeah. I positive all you know how to find the individual I was talking there. All right, yeah. So remember, people of La Colombe, I am pretty sure that you all know how to locate the individuals that were speaking on the platform there and encouraging you to believe that the New National Party had an intention of charging you for the houses that you were in. The same New National Party that came in 2013 didn't charge you. In 2014 didn't charge you. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 and 2022 did not charge you for the houses. But these individuals came to you and say, well, I hear they want to charge us 30,000. These individuals came to you, the people of La Colombe, and they told you that the New National Party wants you to pay for the houses. The houses were built under the New National Party. They were distributed under the NDC because the NNP had lost the election in 2008, and the distribution of the houses took place afterwards. So the distribution of the houses took place under the NDC administration. Yeah, not under the NNP. It took place under the NDC administration. And after it took place under the NDC administration, there was that fee that people had to pay a little under $3,000, so it was 2,000 something, the administrative fee, right? Again, as was explained, that we're going to play it in a little while again, for the water and light and those different things, right? So that is what was said there. And then afterwards, right, that was it. But these were the people, remember, no administration could charge you for these houses. None, nada. Just remember, let me play it again, man. I played that whole one again.
I think somebody made a comment about somebody want to charge us for the houses. Let me allay your fears, brothers and sisters, about these houses inside here. I was in Venezuela, and I heard the Comandante Chavez about 300 meters from where he gave his speech in the presidency, when he declared to the government and people of Grenada he was making a gift of 100 houses. Hear what I tell you? These houses are gifts to us. Hear what I tell you? I was there. Paid for who? Who had to pay for what? Nobody has to pay for any of these houses here.
So all the people in La Colombe here, eh? And I'm sure they could find the individual that's speaking there that here when Chavez give the houses, right? I'm pretty sure you all can find them. Yeah? I'm pretty sure you all can find them.
Declared to the government and people of Grenada he was making a gift of 100 houses. Hear what I tell you? These houses are gifts to us. Hear what I tell you? I was there. Paid for who? Who had to pay for what? Nobody has to pay for any of these houses here.
Okay, so just check the individual. They should give all of the details and so all you could tell, because sitting right there, I think all you could see what I think in the mouse there. Right, that is Mr. Deacon Mitchell sitting right there, and next to him is Adrian Persuader Thomas, right? I think he's the Minister of Culture and thing right now. He used to be the Minister of Agriculture, but I think he's the Minister of Culture right now, from one type of culture to the next. Right? The rest of them, me wasting time with them in the back there. But that is Mr. Adrian Persuader there, and that is the Prime Minister sitting right there. He was political leader at that point in time. So nobody had to pay for the... Let me hear again.
Then see, when he declared to the government and people of Grenada he was making a gift of 100 houses. Hear what I tell you? These houses are gifts to us. Hear what I tell you? I was there. Paid for who? Who had to pay for what? Nobody has to pay for any of these houses here. Put that, listen, shove it in them pipe and let them smoke. No.
I wonder who's smoking the pipe right now. That sounds like a sheldon pipe. You know? That thing is like when you hear them Rasta man up in the hills and they pull a calabash and that sheldon pipe.
See me, let me stop that. Yeah, so folks, if you have a friend or you have a relative or you have a workmate that is such affected, they're living in the La Colombe area, kindly refer them to that political meeting that took place during the election campaign. Kindly and gently refer them to that meeting and let them remember what was said. In fact, they don't have to remember. It is recorded. It is there. They can't erase it because we don't copy everything already, so they can't erase it. It is there. So get it, let them hear it. Direct them to tonight's program, because those of us listening may be very surprised that one of the individuals who we heard may have been the same person that went about to help institute the same thing they were saying cannot be instituted and should not be instituted. Might be very surprised to find out that one of the people contained in those video clips has been directly involved in going around and doing to the people exactly what they said cannot be done to them. La Colombe people, all you know the error all you make. But the time is coming when you all can right that wrong. Yeah, you all made a mistake. Okay, we all make mistakes in life. We understand that. You all will have the opportunity to correct that mistake. Will you go ahead and make the mistake again? Or will you correct that mistake? Yeah? The people sitting there who were encouraging you, who were telling you, no, this thing is gratis, they can't take it, you can't pay. The people who were sitting there when all of that was being said. The people who were up on the platform with arms raised saying, what going on? What we do them? The same people who were saying all of that. I am pretty sure you all know where to find them now. All of you people who are living in La Colombe, Pastor, and they know where to find them, and they know all of them people that are talking there. They know where to find them. They also know all of the people who are sitting there. All these people, let me see if you could bring it up big here. All the people who are sitting there, in the background there, all these people here, they know where to find them. They know very well where to find all of these people. They had all kind of things to say when was a new national party in office. All of a sudden now, all of a sudden now, they have nothing to say. All right. We understand how the thing go, man. We understand how the thing go. Yeah? But I want to play something quickly here. Let me see if I can get this up. Yeah, let me just play this quickly for you.
Fellow Grenadians, Carriacouians, and PT Martinicans, I speak today not with anger, but with a heartfelt plea, a call for empathy, for justice, and above all, for humanity. Residents of La Colombe reached out to me, expressing deep concern and confusion. They were invited to an event with the hope and expectation of finally receiving the land titles to the homes they have lived in and cared for over many years. Instead, they were handed letters with an offer of sale, a proposal that came as a shock, not a celebration. These residents are not wealthy landowners or corporations. They are single mothers, elderly pensioners, the disabled, and hard-working individuals trying to make ends meet. These are our neighbors, our people. Now, let me be clear. I believe in lifting people up. I believe in a hand up to those less fortunate. And I firmly believe that owning a piece of property can bring stability, pride, and dignity to a family that has known too much struggle. But the way this has been done, without consultation, without dialogue, and without consideration for people's real circumstances, is deeply unfair. You cannot impose a cost on someone who has never had the chance to prepare for it. You cannot expect people to pay with money they simply do not have, especially when they were never part of the conversation. These letters are not just bills, they are threats. Threats to peace of mind, to stability, to dignity. They were sent without warning, without explanation, and without compassion. We are not saying the government should not manage property or revenue. We are saying, have a heart, have a conscience, consider the impact. Policies without compassion are policies without purpose. They serve no one but bureaucracy and break the backs of those who have the least. Now I appeal to the conscience of those in power. Revoke these letters. Suspend these demands. Come to the table with communities and find humane, inclusive solutions. Do not be remembered as a government that turned its back on its people when they needed understanding the most. Instead, be remembered as a government that listened, that led with wisdom, and ruled with a heart. Thank you.
Let me just say, La Colombe people, if all you go back and vote for the man that do that to all you wicked to all yourself. Jesus. If all you go back and vote for this guy again, after he did, the guy sit down there, he listened to this entire thing. The people were encouraged because you had various speakers making statements. One of the speakers ended up in the Ministry of Housing right after, where supposedly you all may have seen that and say, well, this person is going to be there, they'll protect our interests. Instead of that, all again, not the same person that ended up coming around to all you. Yeah, no Krokraba song for that, no change.
I'm still in shock, I can't understand. I am so disappointed in man. Man make me cry, tears run from my eye. All I could ask was the reason why. Was man fighting power, he fighting greed. Oh, greed. Man making blunders for selfish need. Man gon' call you brother, but man so slack. Say man with a dagger, stabbing your back.
Until you know that in La Colombe now, yeah.
This May, look how they treat me in the folk fair the other day. Chucky was thunder, Chucky was tough. Chucky was power, Chucky was rough. But politician respected this Calypsonian, who always seemed to look out for the poor man. But since Daphne Philip brainwashed the brother and make Chucky director of culture, since he got big position, he start moving strange. It's amazing how people could change. As they get in power, their plans rearrange. It's amazing how people could change. You have to agree, it's lies we're on in this whole country. Look how Chucky boil right down like Baji. Lies we're on in this whole country. I took time out and thought about man, unassuming hard to understand. One day man could peep up the ladder, next day man could be.
Yes, indeed, folks. The phone number 14734407377. You can call us on the WhatsApp.
Oh my!
Yeah, you've got to save the number and then call us via WhatsApp.
Man, me.
Yes, we know it's a landline number, but you can call us via WhatsApp on that number.
St. Peter.
Let me say a special good number to you, Pastor Lewis. Hope you're having a wonderful night, sir.
Yeah, good, but man, not nice. A man who used to fight to get murderers free. Today that
Camille Teresa Scott, good night to you, my dear.
check most of the cases that rap.
Patricia and Matthew.
Get weakness, boom, boom, just on the
Batman George, all of you up there in Canada. Ian in Canada, how you doing, bro?
telling you execution in record time. Baka say he promised him the deed for the land. Soon as Baka help him win the election. But
And Joyce down there in Trinidad.
Just move
All
it.
listeners out there in St. Lucia, special good night to each and every one of you.
as they get in power, they plan.
My good friend out there in Chozel.
Amazing how people
My friends in Laborie.
have to agree.
My friends in
We're
Soufrière.
running the whole country. Baka come with it.
And especially, you know, my Grosole people. Grosole Babano.
We're running this whole country.
I must find some friends in Viewfort. I do have friends in Viewfort, and I must find some friends down there. Our good listeners out there in St. Vincent, Union Island, how you doing? And let me say a special good night to my good friends out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And folks, we at the stage right now where we're running into basically days before the start of the hurricane season. And each time I hear rainfall or so on, I become severely worried about the people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique and the many people who still do not have a proper roof over their heads. The many people who still bunking by somebody, taking a look at jam by somebody, and knowing that the hurricane season is about to start again. In fact, the anniversary of Beryl is month after, yeah? The ending of June is going to be, so it's basically a month and a half away, 6 weeks or so away from the anniversary of deadly Hurricane Beryl. And we know the emotional stress and the psychological stress that that places on the people of Carriacou, Petit Martinique, even the people of Grenada in general too, you know, because it have people even down in South St. George lost their homes during Beryl. That breeze was, you heard Jelani speak about it last night, that while his trees were thrown down just next door, the trees were there and so. I mean, this thing, how it passed by in some areas, it knocked down a house here and the house next to it was totally fine. And it wasn't even due to the structure, just where the breeze passed. In some instances, where the gusts passed. So you had those situations that have taken place, and we're heading back into the hurricane season again. And I'm not twisting totally off of the La Colombe issue. As I said, the phone lines are open, you can call. But we also note with utter disdain and a significant amount of worry, Pablo, that correct? Yeah, utter disdain and a significant amount of worry. Yeah, I'm going back into the poetry there. That we have a situation where River Road still ain't sorted out. We heard all the rigmarole from the Prime Minister when we on this program and other programs call him out in relation to what is taking place in River Road. A project that ought to have been completed by now. You had the whole dry season. They said all they had to do is put in basically the brace, the abutments, I think they call it, the brace and so, to place the bridges. And then they would remove the Steels bridge that is there, because that bridge by Steels Auto that you pass over to go up to the mental facility and so on, you could go over by Steels and different places, the old marketing board warehouse, the Panyard and so. That bridge is one of the main reasons that you're having flooding in that area. Because when the water is coming down and it comes down with all the garbage and it comes down with all the bamboo, sometimes people doing construction and further up the river course, they're throwing the bamboo into the river. So the water takes the bamboo and all the other building materials and so on, it brings it down. When it gets to that Steels bridge, it hooks up there and all of it begins to block up and dam the area. So you have all the bamboo, all the other silt, everything coming down, rocks, this, that, and it creates a barrier. What happens is when it creates that barrier, then the water comes over on both sides. Which is why what the new National Party administration had started, and you could speak to Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox in relation to it, you could speak to any member of the new National Party government at that point in time in relation to it. The plan was you had to complete the sides going further up. So you're going back up to where you had the rockfall and that sort of thing there, right? You're going back up to that area. You're completing the sides on both sides. You're supposed to complete the walls on both sides. And you're supposed to remove that Steels bridge. Because once that bridge is there, it is too low. So it creates that barrier that the things stick up there and then the water overflows into the road. The same goes with the humpback bridge. That is why the plan was to remove the humpback bridge and remove the bridge by Steels, put other bridges a little different from where they are. They're not going to put it back the exact same place, but a different location, and put them in a way that the water would be able to flow under them without, even if bamboo and different things, because sometimes the bamboo is not necessarily that people throw the bamboo in the river. Sometimes it's bamboo that's at the side of the river, and as the water coming down, you take it, tree go down in the river, whatever, and it coming down with it. So at least it would have enough clearance so that these things don't stick up there and cause the water to start running into the road again. Yeah? This administration had, since all of this happened last year and even before that, to fix this problem. It is at their feet. Any damage to person or property that happens henceforth, it is solely the fault of the government. They told us that the bridges were here already. They said the bridges were already here. It was just a matter of putting in place the space to put them, fado, to put it and so on. But again, it continues with the promises, 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 promises. Because this administration is very adept. They're very good at speaking about, and somebody saying internet problems. Are you all having internet problems? Because I could tell you, my internet goody inside here, it hasn't dropped on my end. So it is good on my end. So I'm not sure if are several of you having that issue, because it's not on my end. Folks, let me know. WhatsApp me and let me know if you all are having problems with the internet. Yeah? Oh, good night to the people of Fontenoy. Yeah, good night to Fontenoy. Sorry, Fontenoy. Yeah, good night to each and every one of you. Hey, and my good partner by Travelers Bar, Short Man. Good night to you and Even, bro. Hope everything is going all well and okay with both of you. Yeah, I have to make a pass so that I get a chance and things, but I doesn't get a chance to head up that side these days. You understand how the thing go? Yeah, folks. So anything that happens in River Road, I am laying it at the feet of this administration. Anybody lose their vehicle, we hope and pray nobody lose their life. Anybody lose their vehicle, either there or down at the National Stadium and so, due to flooding, the children who attend secondary school in that area and primary school and are adversely affected by these water situations. these flooding situations. Users of the National Stadium facility, who either the vehicle being damaged, people going to conference there, you have to run out, your vehicle gone, your vehicle submerged in water, all sorts of things. Simply because this government wouldn't do what they're supposed to do. And then you have to go and fight up with insurance and so on to fix your vehicle after you are paying taxes and the government is saying that the bridge is there that could have already solved that problem so you would not have been flooding out. That ought to have been the situation now. You ought not to be talking about flooding out. But again, we deal with a group of people that just doesn't seem to care. Yeah? Mongozo, good night to you all as well. Everybody checking in, boy. Yeah. Okay, somebody's telling me they're watching from Texas. Hey, sorry. Let me say a special, special good night to all my Texas listeners. I haven't said that for quite a while. Folks, you all wouldn't believe the viewers, the amount of viewers that we have in Texas, loyal viewers to this program. Let me take a little moment to say a special good night to all of you out there in Texas. Yes, North Carolina, we love you all too. And you know you all are special to us too. But let me just say a special good night to the listeners in Texas, especially those who are driving the trucks. Because you have some Grenadians, and some are not even Grenadians, who are driving truck out there in Texas, going from one location to the other. And these guys on the CB radio, and they're listening to talking points via the devices in the truck. And they actually calling each other and say, hey, what are you talking about? Hey, what you say that thing? Special good night to you all as well, brothers. Special, special good night to you. Yeah? Oh, okay. Yes, Texas. So, yeah, folks. So, anything that we see happening there, this government likes to talk. So, we hear them talk about Mount Sinai and all of that. Okay. How does that affect in the immediate? How does that affect the 70-something-year-old, in fact, the 80-something-year-old person that has diabetes and has to go to the general hospital and there's no medication to treat their condition, or the person who has the hypertension, high blood pressure, and they go to the health facility and there's no medication, they have to go and try and buy it. How does that affect them? How does that affect the people who are waiting to do surgery for over a year, waiting to do surgery, and they can't do the surgery because there's no anesthesia. The person who does the anesthetics. Anesthesiologist. Why my tongue does always tell you that? I think it's a cinnamon tea I'm drinking tonight. But anyway, so they have no one to apply to put the people to sleep. We'll put it simple as that. My tongue does always tie up on an anesthesiologist thing here. So they have nobody to actually do that. The person has retired and so on. So I don't know if they got somebody temporary or whatever. Also, we have to ask ourselves, with yesterday's announcement, how this government has moved far away from the same Cuba. Just a couple of weeks ago, they were saying we're standing firm with Cuba and thing. But as soon as the Prime Minister come back from the meeting with Marco Rubio, Trump want to see them, not to the level to see the President of the United States. He ain't interested in seeing them. So they go up there, they meet with Marco Rubio, and then they come back down. And all of a sudden, we hear about engagement between Mount Sinai and Grenada, which is something we've been hearing about since last year. There was supposed to be an arrangement that started in January. Anyway, so to come and do big announcement, that was no big announcement. We know that was happening. We were already told that the government was seeking to get medical people from Africa as well. What we found very strange is that they didn't speak about Cuba. And the Cuban people are known to have been very, very helpful. In fact, essential to the continued operation of the healthcare system in Grenada. You look at the list of professionals who are practicing doctors within the state of Grenada right now, and I can guarantee you that a significant portion of them are either Cuban or Cuban trained. Yeah? If they're not Cuban, they're Cuban trained. And you're speaking about doctors in every field, not just general practitioners. You're speaking about specialists as well. Yes, we have quite a number who have come through the St. George University, but you compare that with the amount who have gone through from the Cuban universities as well and returned and are offering their services in Grenada. Yet still, instead of working with our Caribbean brother, you decided to go across the seas back to the homeland to get people. Well, we go understand what is going on with that in the future. I don't have much to say about it. I've heard various theories in relation to why what is taking place is taking place. how some people hand like Vaseline, greasy, 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 in relation to certain aspects of what is taking place there, that there may be financial benefit to various friends and individuals of the NDC. I'm hearing that accusation, that there are financial benefits that these individuals will be gaining from the arrangement. By the end of the day, you have a big announcement yesterday. How is that going to positively impact the present healthcare situation in Grenada in the next month, in the next 6 months, in the next year, this time next year? How will that positively impact the healthcare system in Grenada? And then, of course, these people are not coming in for free. Excuse me. They are not coming in for free. These people have to be paid and so on. And we understand that. We do have a problem with paying for quality service. But what does that mean for the average Grenadian? Will these services be available to, let's say, even if you make it available for certain categories of people, the elderly, you say anybody over the age of 75, they'll receive treatment, they'll receive service for free or so on. And children will receive service for free? Or is it all of us have to pay for it? And if that is the case, if you're putting in place a system where everybody is going to have to pay for this, then at least, for Christ's sake, get the national insurance off the ground. But no, what they did with the national insurance, they kick off the company, and they said the company wasn't doing the work, but the company had to defend themselves and come out and say, no, we were doing the work. This government just refused to respond to us. They had to come out and say that. So we have to ask ourselves, why is this government so interested in, painting the building when the termites eat out the whole thing already? So when you push it, your finger going right through. Why are they so interested in dressing things up and don't care about the internals, what is taking place with the actual thing itself? Let's go to the, come on, what's the matter with you now? A call is coming through, but for some reason, I am trying to connect to it and I'm not getting through. Okay, they'll call back. Caller who was trying to call back. For some reason, I wasn't able to connect with you, but call back. All right, 440-7377. You can call us on WhatsApp. Well, you have to put 1473-440-7377. In fact, let's try calling back the person and see if we get them. Yeah, we'll try it like that and see if we get through to them. Yeah, let me see if I can get back the caller. Yes, folks. So this is what is happening with this government. It's all about put it on social media, put it here. The same people that used to be talking about the NNP and saying the NNP is all about social media and only social media NNP is interested in and that sort of thing. It's the same people who now you recognize are the same ones who everything. It's social media and it's about make it look. Look, you saw a situation where I, on this program, spoke about the MP for St. John. We were able to prove on this program that the MP for St. John once again continues to lie to the people of Grenada, lie to the people of St. John. As soon as we did that, between when we did our program last week, Monday, and now, about 6 press releases come out in relation to the minister. She traveled, she did this, and she leading talk here, and she leading forum there, and all different sort of things. All of a sudden, they realize that the minister exists again. All of a sudden, we start to hear about the minister again. Yeah? All of a sudden. Because it's about window dressing, it's not about actually doing anything. There's a situation. Let me see if I can find this particular one. What, boy? Partner, you by Niagara Falls, boy? A good night to you, Papa. Yeah, man. Let me see if I can remind, just to give you an example of how this administration only deals with, they don't deal with the reality of situations. They deal with what they want you to feel about something. And I'm just pulling out something here. Where's the final one? There was one more. Yeah, there was one more here. Where is it? Where is it gone to? Yeah, okay, here it is. Come on, open. What's the matter now? These computers, it's not the internet. The internet is perfect. But anyway, you all would remember that last year, there was a lot of talk about the marquee basketball court. Yeah? There was a lot of talk about the marquee basketball court and the situation at the marquee basketball court and that sort of thing. In fact, tomorrow would make it 1 year to the day. I can't seem to open this stuff here, but next year will make it 1 year to the day that we saw the posts by Mr. Andy Williams and so on, and they run up by the marquee basketball court and they say, well, they're doing work and so on there. Folks, I want you to ask the people of Marquee to show you the present state of that same marquee basketball court 1 year later. Ask them to show you. Ask them how much lights are working. Ask them the state of the fence and so on. Of that same marquee basketball court that they was rushing and saying, yeah, everything will be ready in a couple of days and so on, and we painting and we're doing this and we're doing that. 1 year later, ask yourself, what is the situation with the people in Marquee? Or they could tell me. Because last year, as of tomorrow, it's going to be the 16th of May. And on the 16th of May, there was a post. And I was trying to get it, but for some reason, it's not opening on my system. The 16th of May. Friend, if you could send it back to me. The 16th of May last year, you had that post where they were speaking about what is taking place. Look, we're doing this and we're doing that and all this kind of thing. And now, everything with these people is only about window dressing. It is not about actually dealing with things. But in the interim, let me remind you all of something. It's just, yeah, it's after the hour of 9 o'clock. I want to remind you all of some activities. Last night talk gets so nice, certain people forget to mention certain things. So let me show you what they forgot to mention. All right. So the St. Patrick West caretaker, that's Mr. Jelani Glean, and or their political leader, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, they will be in Shantimela. Yes, they're going to be in Shantimel tomorrow from 6 p.m. Or you can might come up in that one, you can vibes on the boy now. Yeah. So Shantimel, the political leader of the New National Party, together with the New National Party caretaker, Mr. Jelani Glean, they'll be by Wooden Bar. Yeah, by Wooden Bar in Shantimel tomorrow from 6 p.m. So look out for that one. All right, you might also see other members of the New National Party team. You could never tell, you might even see me, you could never tell. You might even see me there. But at Wooden Bar in Shantimel, St. Patrick, taking place tomorrow. All right, so that is for St. Patrick. And let me see, there's some other activities here. Let me get them up. You move from there. Nice, right. So remember, the New National Party New York Support Group, they've got the Exquisite Affair, an evening of elegant style and class. That's happening Saturday, June the 21st, 2025, starting from 9 p.m. Music by DJ Small Clothes. Tickets only $100, attire formal. Come experience delightful entertainment, etc., etc. at Carriacou Hall. 1963 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11234. And to contact, you have the contact numbers here. Yes, yeah. We ain't going to run through all of them there tonight. Of course, the political leader of the New National Party, the Honorable Emlyn Pear. Hey, all your fiction name. That is not how you spell Miss Emlyn Pear name. I drop that E at the end of Emlyn. Right. The Honorable Emlyn Pear, political leader of the New National Party and leader of His Majesty's opposition. Our Deputy Political Leader, Senator Nolan Cox, and Chairman of the New National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, will all be in attendance. So it's going to be a special affair, an exquisite affair, evening of elegant style and class that'll be taking place come the 21st of June, Saturday, 21st of June, 2025. Somebody buy me a ticket, I'm coming too. All right, yes. Oh, remember this is taking place, well, that's for next week. Yeah, Goose going to have the stuff there next week. You all know, yeah. You contact the Goose, 410-3711, 415-4980. You get the carnival body in shape and thing. Right. New National Party Women's Arm. They have a Cup of Love celebrating mothers taking place at the Grenada Trade Center Annex on Sunday, the 25th of May from 3 p.m. Price only $100. It's going to be an afternoon tea party and hat show. They're going to also be having a bingo and hat show, prizes, all of that going to be taking place. All right, yeah, for your nice fancy hat, your nice outfit, them kind of thing. We papa, that one day with that flowery thing, they ain't looking bad at all, you know. Hey, Yeah, she have a whole hibiscus on she head. Yeah, so so it is a cup of love by the new National Party Women's Arm. And again, that's going to be taking place Sunday, the 25th of May from 3 p.m. price, only $100 at the Grenada Trade Center Annex, starting from 3 p.m. It's a tea party, hat show, bingo, all of it is going to be taking place. Yes, and we look at cutes here. Yes, remember, look the bank account numbers and so on. Right, I just make sure and put it up every night so you have the opportunity to write it down. I'm going to put it up again in a while so you can write it down. Right, Kelani, right, 4-year-old Kelani, she needs your help. All right, folks, Kelani needs your help. Right? Oh, yes, we've just been through this one. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything, right? Yeah, we've been through this one. This is taking place tomorrow. So once again, remember, this is taking place tomorrow out by Woodends Bar in Shantimel, St. Patrick from 6 p.m.
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email.
Yes, indeed, folks. So, We Noise. Yeah, just make sure you check them out. Oh, and we have one more activity here before the St. Andrews Southeast Youth and them give me a big stone. St. Andrews Southeast Youth, they've got their cocktail and dance. Yeah, the young people are ting by. All right, that's taking place the 31st of May, 2025 at Mega Sports Bar in Telescope, 8 p.m. Tickets cost only $35. Dress code classy and trendy. Prizes for the best dressed male and female, as well as couple of the night. So you have the best dressed male, the best dressed female, and the best dressed couple. So that is taking place the 31st of May, 2025 at Mega Sports Bar in Telescope from 8 p.m. Tickets only $35. Remember, you're dressing classy and trendy. All right, and that's the St. Andrews Southeast Youth Arm of the New National Party having that activity. So looking forward to those of you that can make it there. All right, so yeah, St. Patrick, well, are they supposed to be going up? St. David's, are they supposed to be going up and so on? Go on and give your support to that activity. All right, folks, the phone lines are open again, 440-7377, well, the phone line, 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto tonight's program. Somebody said me it's showing 17 tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah, so Mr. Glean, you have to correct something here because Friday is the 16th and the 17th is Saturday. So is it taking place tomorrow or is it taking place on Saturday? I assume that since they have the Friday, I believe it's taking place tomorrow. They probably have the wrong date attached to it, but I believe it's taking place tomorrow. So at Woodends Bar tomorrow from 6 p.m. I do not believe it's taking place Saturday. I believe it's tomorrow that would be taking place. And they may have mixed up the day itself. But once they put the Friday, you know, they wouldn't make a mistake with the Friday if it's Saturday, but they'd make a mistake with the Saturday, with the 16th and the 17th. So most likely it's taking place tomorrow. Mr. Glean, give me a message and let me know which one is the correct one. If I am assuming correctly, I'd like to assume. If I am assuming correctly, somebody call him and tell him, give me a buzz and let me know exactly which way it is happening. All right, folks, you see that's all my talking points. People just pick up things quick. Right. Someone is saying here, the engagement effect immediately by removing 2.5 million from health budget that could have been used for staff, equipment, and medication. 2.5 is just for Mount Sinai, but you have St. Bernard's fee salary, Dolan's consultancy fees, and Delole's consultancy fees. So this individual is saying here that the 2.5 million that is being found, the engagement could immediately, taking 2.5 million that could have been used in the healthcare system right now, you're taking it out to set up a parallel something towards the teaching hospital and the consultancy and all these things. And then you have to pay Miss St. Bernard, and we have to find out if Miss St. Bernard is being paid. That's the question we have to ask, and that may have to be asked. She does say she's the project sponsor, I believe. That's the terminology that she's using in relation to this. So project sponsor, whatever that means. So we have to find out if indeed she's being paid any fee, salary, consultancy, or anything in relation to this project. Mr. Dolan, if he is being paid, and if he's being paid, how much? And Delole, yeah, I think that's probably Delole, their consultant fee, and so on. So we need to find out what is the situation in relation to that, right? Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good night.
Brother.
Hey, what is in Fadu?
A day Fadu. Couple
Yeah,
quick concerns.
Go ahead.
Question. With the thing with the hospital, yeah? Are you aware if SGU has pledged the amalgamation to that cause?
In listening to part of the press conference when Mr. Dolan was speaking, he did mention that they would be working along with SGU.
Well, that's what they say, but
yeah, that's what I'm just getting to. But I have not heard that from SGU. I hear that from
SGU
them, but I hear that from SGU.
Yeah, because I'm realizing there's a lot of things that don't run parallel in the statement that he made based on information. Like for instance, I think Ms. Stricker would have asked one of the ladies, one of the presenters, what is, if they have plans and stuff, or plans have been drawn up for the hospital so far, and the ladies more or less just said straight out no, right? Maybe in 2026 or something you'll get that, but there are 3D renderings, yes, showing the outline of the hospital and where they'll have like housing spots and spa and workout areas and all that. So I'm seeing this, so it clearly doesn't add up to the information that they're given and the information that's out there.
Fadu, a lot of the younger people might not remember this term. Remember the terminology Brango? This government specializing in Brango.
Yeah,
I know my good partner Durity, Selwyn Noel would love that word, Brango. That is all we get here, a bunch of Brango.
A lot of it. Of it. I've noticed too, more or less the setup or how they claim to be amalgamating with Mount Sinai is more or less that they bind into a franchise. I don't see the practicality of having a medical institution being franchised. That's more or less what they're doing.
The thing is, it sounds nice to have the name. Okay, yeah,
exactly.
General Hospital,
It's like
Mount
a branding
Sinai,
thing.
whatever. Even you might go and see that, have to go and spend a pile of money for uniforms, Mount Sinai, blah, 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 whatever it is. That's aside from it. How does that benefit the average Grenadian? Somebody fall and they break their foot, they have to go to the General Hospital. How does this this $2.5 million arrangement, how does it benefit that person? How does it benefit the person that has an emergency surgery that has to be done? They can't travel out to do it. It has to be done in Grenada. And you don't even have an anesthesiologist to put them to sleep. You see how easy I said the word now? To put them to sleep. How does that benefit that individual or the child that has to do a complicated stomach surgery or something like that, how does that benefit? Or the pregnant mother that is having a difficult delivery,
just the
how
commute,
does
just the
that
commute,
help?
just the commute creates a lot of like broad problems.
Mm-hmm.
The road infrastructure, they definitely haven't been put. So how long would we see or receive any benefits in Grenada from these moves? I remember saying a while back, it seems like, okay, for anybody to benefit from anything implementations that the new administration have done, is like you have to put them in. It's like more or less they're suggesting that you have to put us in there for it to see the benefits of it. All they say is that continue, because even they use this words continuum in the presentation, but still we have noted that they haven't been any continuance in anything from the prior administration. More or less they've been rebranding it and trying to shut a lot of stuff down. So it's really not, I'm not convinced. I'm not trusting the words of this administration and what they give it.
Hold a minute, Fadu.
So sure.
A loving cousin of mine just messaged me, and he just pointed out something to me. He's saying the 3D illustration, the cars are driving on the right side of the road. He said that's not even for Grenada.
I agree. Well,
no, if you watch it in truth,
Grenadians still, you know.
In truth, if you watch it, because he said the car's driving on the right side of the road. He said that can't be for Grenada. They're driving on the right side, wrong country.
This is crazy. Well, we have Skybridge. We have this how much acres? Acreage?
But I'm not even sure how much acres they have for that now.
I think it's over 80 or something like that, bro. Good farmland, yeah. Proper farmland, yeah.
I think some of it used to be involved with Cardi and so on. And I know a lot of it used to belong to the Wester Hall estate. They used to do a lot of sugar cane and so down in those areas way back in the day. So yeah, well, they're saying they're doing it. Let's see. I thought there was pretty much coming to tell us that they find the funding to do it. Not that they go in and spend money before they even find it funded.
Well, so they have to spend money for the accessibility to the facilities, more or less, or the services. So they're buying a franchise. That's what it is. They paying for a franchise. It's no different from like getting a KFC or McDonald's in Grenada. That's more or less what they're doing. Do you think that the prime people in charge of Mount Sinai, do you think their culture and their belief would have any effect in Grenada? Reason being is a certain group. A certain group of people that own Mount Sinai. It starts in that. Is that J-word? And I don't want to say anything in that, you know.
No, I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
But
So
the bottom line is, for these individuals, it's all about the money. They will not get involved
capitalism.
in something. Yeah, but these people, business people in general, will not become involved in something unless there's some financial benefit.
Benefits to them.
These individuals are not being altruistic. It's not about we so like Grenada and we're doing this because we like Grenada. It is, we see this as a means of expanding our portfolio to be able to say to people that we are working along with the Ministry of Health, the government of Grenada, in implementing, so that they can then sell themselves to other Caribbean countries, African countries, Pacific countries, through just being able to say we're working with Grenada.
So another thing that comes to mind,
84 acres, because not
84 acres. Yeah, I know it was in the 80s. So our next thing that comes to mind, right? As we know, Grenada is an island. We have a certain amount of square footage, right? Square miles, more or less. We have niche markets in certain businesses, right? We have certain infrastructure that more or less was catered for our way of living, our cultures, our traditions. So with the influx of all these individuals, like the question still remains in my head: what position, what niche market are they coming to get exclusively? The only resolve I can come up is like they're coming to take over the stuff that's already here. Hence, like we keep talking about the land grab. If we notice that right now, we've seen the policy, the things that the government is putting down, the administration is putting down, is more or less taking the rights of ownership from people.
But you know what might be interesting as you mentioned that, my brother? It might be interesting to find out through publicly available records who are the individuals that own the land around that 84 acres.
That's
And
a brilliant deduct.
And if they have just become owners of those properties, or how long
Owners,
they have been
yes.
owners of those properties.
Well, I find something that's very interesting. A lot of the companies, I don't say financial institutions, but a lot of the companies that's attached to those new projects, let's say they started off in last year. Last year, within a couple months. I just find it very peculiar. But I don't know if it draws any attention or red flags to anybody out there paying attention. But I find it very peculiar that a lot of the businesses, even some of the construction thing, it's like they were just formed. And we always hearing the word nepotism. There are a lot of family members connected, and they don't have a history. It's not like they've been doing that for like 15, 20 years. They just get into the business. So how are they getting those contracts when there are individuals with much more a greater depth of knowledge about these things, and they're not being considered? I find it very peculiar.
But not only that, you have people that just form security companies and have contracts that could run into $1 million or more for the year.
Ta-da.
You have people no, seriously, there's a whole construct of corruption taking place with these individuals, you know. Now they like to accuse people of corruption and call people corrupt. Yeah.
Listen, I've never heard any administration being called it so, you know.
And when you really check some of the things that are going on with these individuals, okay, so you have that hospital project that's aimed for there. Do the investigation, find out who owns the land, who owned the land before, and the connection between who owned the land before and people sitting in cabinet right now. Find out the relationship. If there was legal representative, if there was friend, lineman, partner, whatever it is, find out the relationship between who owned the land that was purchased by government for the hospital and the relationship with people sitting in the cabinet right now.
And the land of the circumference, yeah? I totally agree.
You may very well find a politically incestuous relationship. But anyhow, so you have to check for that. You also have to check who are the owners of the properties that are next to the 84 acres and within which space of time they became the owners of those properties.
Owners of the okay.
And don't get it twisted. You might see a name there, but that might not be the real owner.
I tell you about those funds, you know. I told you about those funds, you know. I've been talking about those funds.
There's a thing called investigative journalism.
One last thing before I jump off. One last thing before I jump off. So with the implementation of like a structure like that, do you think the lands, just as you pointed out, the surrounding lands would increase in value?
They've already started to increase in value. But just by saying, for instance, let me use an example for you. You heard quite a lot about Belle Isle, right? Over the last 2 and some years, you heard a lot about Belle Isle in St. David. Yep. You heard a lot about the WASH program going into Belle Isle and doing bathroom and toilets and uplifting the standard. Now, what that has done, and it was absolutely necessary, and I applaud the fact that that has been done for the people of Belle Isle. But don't believe it was just done for the benefit of the people of Belle Isle. Find out who owns the land in the back of Belle Isle. And the price that land is now
is what now
compared to at the point in time before this project was done for the people of Belle Isle. And again, I am glad it has been done for the people of Belle Isle. I applaud the fact it has been done. I would not agree with the way it was funded and how the simultaneity, I believe, is taking place with this WASH program, which we have to delve in one of these days. Because some things taking place in that WASH program. They like to call people corrupt. I hope when they talk about building a new prison, they make sure the cells very comfortable. But anyway, so yeah, I just say it as it is. I hope they're making sure the cells comfortable. But just find out who owns the land to the back. St. David people could tell you, you know. Find out who owns the land to the back of Belle Isle.
Nice.
And
I think that's right.
how the price has changed due to the development that has taken place with these homes in Belle Isle. If that has personally benefited anybody sitting in the cabinet of Grenada right now, because the
I
property that
definitely
they
think.
own, the price has now increased.
Is the FIU disbanded?
They don't have that. They're only interested in going to my credit union to find out about my account,
Your payments?
following every transaction. No, I'm telling you, they're following every single transaction via my
I
debit
wasn't
card.
ready.
They're following every transaction via my debit card. They've been trying to find out information from the Western Union and these places about if I'm receiving or sending money. They're actually sending and trying to find out from them. They following my bank account on a daily basis. That is what the FIU doing right now. And I could call them out and tell
So
them
they're
that I
active.
know for a fact that they're doing that.
They're
I'm not,
actually
I'm
active.
not, I'm not guessing, you know. I'm telling you for a fact that the FIU is doing that right now.
Yeah, I find some phones are compromised too, but we'll leave that over there. I'm very
One of these days, they'll go hear something that might make them take a rope. Let them continue listening.
You remember there was that situation on the foot where somebody saw they partner engage in some things, and when they call their friends and they get binoculars, they passed out.
All I'm saying is let them continue listening. One of these days, they will end up taking a rope for what they hear. All right.
Yo, I'm dissatisfied with the move of the FIU, because I'm saying as a youth man pushing, enough times they had to give source of funds when I make a deposit. You get me?
Yeah.
And you have people that had nothing in the beginning of this career, political career, and now they approaching like hundreds of thousands to million, no? And there's the salary definitely can accumulate that sums within that time.
And you see,
So
these people feel they're smart because they're using, sorry for that, these people feel they're smart because they're using surrogates to handle a lot of the business for them. But the FIU wouldn't know that because they're too busy bothering to go and dig up Emlyn Pierre bank account and so on, to dig up Dr. Mitchell bank account and so on, to dig up people like my bank account and so on. That's what they're busy doing. They're busy trying to tap people's phones and hack people's computers and that sort of thing. That's what they're busy doing. The FIU is operating illegally in Grenada because surveillance is not supposed to take place without the order from a judge in chambers, and they have to have reason. And I know for a fact that what they are doing, they don't have any permission from any judge in chambers.
They have no legal basis.
I know the law because I was in Parliament when it was passed, so I know the law very well.
Well, the Data Collection Act, you remember that? I mentioned that a couple months ago.
Well, all I will say to them is there are consequences to your actions.
True that. I totally agree. Let me give somebody else some time. Hope you have a blessed one.
Yes, man. And you have a blessed weekend as well, my brother.
Yeah, all that day on it. Me and baby girl kicking. We partying this weekend.
Okay, man. I know where it does go. All right, my brother. You have a good one.
More time, bro.
Right, man. Bless up. Yes, indeed, folks. That's my good friend Fadu. Yeah. And I just got a message a short while ago that as we speak right now, the Princess Alice Hospital, they do not have IV lines. Yeah, so I don't think you all understand what I just say. I'm saying, Nurse Wendy Ann Maguire, I think we need your input there. We need your help. No, not necessarily a call. You could call if you want, but they don't have IV lines to do intravenous fluids. They do not have IV lines right now at the Princess Alice Hospital. In other words, if somebody goes in there and they have to be rehydrated, they have to get, as I say, they have to get drips, or they have to get other medication, and you need to put it intravenously, where you put the tube and you put the connection, and put the tube into the hand, and you give them, they don't have the tube. So they don't have that. And they're also very short on several medications right now at the Princess Alice Hospital. Nurse Maguire.
Hi, Sheldon. Good night.
I am good, you know, and how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Just finished, a little tired. Just finished closing my charts, but
I don't like that
was
one.
just in time to hear you.
I don't like that one. I just hear you know that they have no IV lines at Princess Alice. IV
Let's
lines,
hope we don't have. Let's hope we don't have no debt, Sheldon, because how could you not have IV lines? And it's not something you can reuse. So they have
Oh yeah.
expiration date.
Hello.
Yes, it's how you gonna.
When did
Well, I'm saying an IV line supposed to be so you use it for 24 hours or so. You can't go using it for. You have to change it.
you forget the last
Sheldon,
NDC? The last NDC used to wash them. They used to wash them and put them to
Sheldon,
dry.
in my days when I worked as a registered nurse in the hospital, if you don't date your IV line when you hang it, you don't put a date, and when they come around and they check and that date is still there and you didn't change it, you're getting written up.
Well, I could tell you
That's
this.
infection, Sheldon. That's infection. That's sepsis, and we all know sepsis kills. So when you get sepsis, within a certain amount of hours, it goes into septic shock if it's not treated with antibiotics, and then all your organs shut down and you die. So, how are you gonna? I'm just a lost of words because I don't
So
understand how you don't have.
yesterday we're hearing about 2.5. I don't know why my throat suddenly started. Right. So
Mine too,
yesterday,
Sheldon. Apparently, it's
yeah,
spreading because mine too.
it's spreading over the line. So 2.5 million we're hearing about yesterday. But Princess Alice Hospital doesn't have IV lines. Now, under the last NDC administration, many people remember this. I still have the photos. I'm pretty sure if I do a deep dive, I can find it. We still have the photos where these people were taking those IV lines and washing them, and then taking the IV lines they wash and put them to the back of the general hospital to dry. That is the state it had gotten to. In fact, when we came in, after a period of time, some of the medical practitioners were still doing it, even though we were providing, and they said, well, it was force a habit. They were so accustomed to not having and washing it and putting it out there to dry and then reusing it, that they had continued, and we told them, no, you could stop doing that, we'll provide. Now it seems as though we've gone back to something that we were in 15 years ago.
Sheldon, the things I see, I'm telling you, I'm a stickler when it comes to infection control, Sheldon. They'll tell you. When I worked at the hospital, I would tell them, if I don't see the supplies I need, I would tell them. I would say, I'm calling Department of Health. If I don't see X and X here on the unit for me to use for my patient, I'm a patient. I'm just not a registered nurse, or I'm just not a nurse practitioner. I'm an advocate for my patient. And if I don't see X and X among the things right here, I'm going to bring Department of Health up in this hospital, and you guys cannot fire me because, number one, I was a delegate. So I had the union. I had the union right there with anything they tried to do to me. One, first of all. Second of all, I'm supposed to be an advocate for my patient. I am not going to do something that's going to jeopardize their health. So they just, when it comes to me, at one time I had my own supplies. Whatever they get, they would put it a separate set in a box for Nurse Maguire because that's hers, because they know me. Okay? I cannot understand. Infection is a big issue. It's a biggie. So stuff like that, you have to make sure you have those things. That's people's lives we're talking about. It's people's family. And like I said, all lives matter. It doesn't matter if you're rich, you're poor, whatever. And when I had my patients, you couldn't come and tell me this was VIP person and that was VIP. No, all my patients getting the same treatment. White, black, rapist, whatever, they all getting it because at that time they're my patient. When you come there, I see you as my patient. I don't see you as a killer, a rapist, or whatever. You come here for me to take care of you. That's what I'm going to do. Let the law deal with the other part. But infection control is a big thing. You can't.
It seems to be a problem now because for people to have to go through this situation where you don't have it. I mean, what if somebody comes in dehydrated?
What if
somebody comes with an infection?
Dehydrated? Like I said, if somebody comes in, let's say let's just say they have pneumonia and they need antibiotic treatment. Let's say they have sepsis. Let's say that all of these things. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Put it in your mouth and blow it out through a hole in the skin? And then they want to talk about you don't have sense and you don't have all of that. But let's see who have sense and who have brains.
Yeah, this is a serious situation. So here's what, nurse. You know, we are the people that don't just talk about things. We try to help. So here now, this is Nurses Association. It seems as though they need some IV tubes. So please, and don't just send the tubes. They try and get the whatever they call it to put into the vein and so on too. Those different
They have
things.
blocks. The access,
I
yes. They
I
have blocks and stuff like that.
I don't like hospitals, so I don't even know the name. So
So it's a whole lot of things. That's not IV. You need the hep blocks. Yes, you need the needles. You need and something I don't see down there. And like I said, if I get my hands on it, I will have to send some to certain areas. When you put those lines in, Sheldon, and you have those access, whether it's a PIC line, whether it's a hep lock, those are different lines. You're supposed to cover it with a little cap, okay? And that cap has something in there like to prevent infection, and that is supposed to change every 24 to 48 hours. You're supposed to change that. I went in to visit my granduncle. Wasn't there when I was there, so I went in to visit him. And the first thing, nurses are trained. Once you walk into a room, Sheldon, in a second you can see everything that's going on. We're trained for that. So the moment I walked in there and I saw there was no covering on the hep lock, it's like I started sweating. That's a family member of mine, one. Even if he wasn't a family member and he was somebody I didn't know, that's infection. Infection getting into that line and going into your body. Sepsis is a biggie, and every time I see that, I get scared. But, what can you do?
So here's what, as I said, we're solution oriented. It is our country, it's our family. I have family members in the St. Andrew area, and as Grenadians, we like to go all over, so we might end up there. I have children in that area, different things. So we want to make sure that that situation doesn't exist so long. So nurse, can you kindly, together with your organization, and I know you all have access to make a little ask from different people, get some boxes of these things and send them down, please. If you want to send them, I will organize, I will tell you the name to send it in.
Who are we sending it to if I do get them?
I will talk to you off air in relation to that particular one. Yeah, I will talk to you on that, but we're going to work on that over the weekend. We can't let that situation stay for long. Yeah?
Sure, man, I'm scared.
Even if we have to pay for it by air freight, I know that there are people will come together and we'll pay for it. But we want it ASAP, and we want to get that to the Ministry of Health. In fact, watch, we will send a team up to Princess Alice ourselves to hand it over.
Okay, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll spend my day trying to see what I can get and how I can get it. But
even if you have to send, we can't wait on a barrel or something. If you can get that, if you have to send it down via air freight, and we pay for it, it's that important, and enough to last a period of time until this government shake out of the stupidity, which might be a long time, but at least that we did something, that we save a life. We can't allow that to continue. Yeah. We're not just going to talk about things, we're going to work towards fixing them.
Yep.
Yeah? So let's see how we can get cracking on that. Kathy, I know you're listening, so you know you have work to do too. Talk to Wendy. All of you in New York, contact Wendy. And what is taking place there? Yeah, all of you get in touch with Wendy and let's get this thing cracking.
Yeah, right? Sheldon. Yep.
All right. Oh, and diapers. We need diapers. Somebody called me in relation. Somebody called me in relation to diapers. They need to contact me again. I lost person who called me directly in relation to diapers. I wiped my phone and I lost the conversation. So you need to message me back so we could organize for me to get the pull-ups that you have. This morning,
large too. I'm getting some large. So I'm getting some large, and I have boxes of X large, but I don't think anybody I know needs the X large.
Who tell you that? Who tell you? You know how much people I know need the X large? That is the one.
I have it there sitting there since almost 6 months now because I didn't know who to give it to.
Woman said the X large to me. You know how much people I know, and that is the size they need. They need the X large.
Okay, so X large, and I have some large coming up. I have them.
Yeah,
I don't have
send it.
spatial lungs. My
Se-
Christmas decoration take up every way, so I don't have no place to put nothing. So,
Don't worry, Santa
um,
Claus ain't go vex with you. Send the thing and them down.
I will send it down. And tomorrow I'll spend my day trying to find these lines because we save lives. We don't take them away.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and we don't just talk.
anything I have to do to save a life, Sheldon, whether it's black, like I say, whether it's black, blue, green, a rapist, killer, whatever it is,
It's a
when
human.
it comes to my job, I have to do what I have to do. So
Yeah.
I'm going to see what I can do tomorrow.
Okay, my dear. All right. Thank you so very
Right.
much, nurse.
You're
All right.
welcome. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Same to you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. Mhm.
Yeah, folks, we don't operate like we just talk about things. Situations like that, listen, I have children. I don't know if my eldest son, next thing he go to St. Andrew to do something and God forbid. Yeah, we all have relatives. We can't hear about situation like that and just blast the government and leave it at that. Yeah, we also have to try our very best to see what we can do. And as you know, we are talking points, other programs, they spend their time just trying to destroy people because all they're interested in is political office so that they can benefit. That's all they're interested in. So they spend their time, if it's not begging for money, it's trying to malign people. On this program, we state the facts, we provide the evidence of the facts, and when it is, we can help somebody, we try to help people. So those of you that can help in relation to this issue, get in contact with Nurse Maguire. You can WhatsApp me on the studio WhatsApp. I'll put you in touch with Nurse Maguire. We need to get some of those IV lines and the connectors, whatever else, and get them down to Grenada ASAP. If somebody's coming down and it is ready during the week next week and you're willing to bring it down, please say so if you're willing to bring a box down. Other than that, it will have to come down. I don't mind if I have to dip into my own pocket and pay to clear it. I'll do it. But we have to get that in. We're not going to allow that situation to continue and depend on some people that we know for a fact are incompetent to deal with the issue. Let those of us who are competent deal with it and not focus on getting the people who we know for a fact they're incompetent. We're not going to focus on them to get something like that done. Yeah? So 14734407377. We're quickly running out of time. Just to let you all know as well, I was seeing an article a little earlier, and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, has reinstated hanging in Trinidad, you know. So at the point in time that we over here in Grenada, we are having a discussion about the removal of the death penalty. Trinidad has reinstated hanging, so they're starting to hang people again in Trinidad. I think the last time they hung somebody in Trinidad may have been around 2001. I think they hung two fellas. I think that was under the under the UNC and then of Basdeo Pandey and under the PNM of Patrick Manning. I think there were hangings then. I remember they hung Dolce under the UNC, him and the 8 others. And then I think there were 2 after that in 2001. So Trinidad, due to their crime situation and their high murder rate or so, they have reinstated, not seeking to reinstate, and the Prime Minister come and say they're starting to hang again. Not they're looking to, they're reinstating it, they're testing the trap door, they're going and hang in Trinidad. Meanwhile, in Grenada, we're going to have the conversation about whether or not we will be having hanging. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night to you, Camille Teresa Scott. How are you doing?
And good night to Nurse Maguire. I want some extra large for a good friend of mine, an old lady.
And Camille, the extra large is the one people has asked for the most, and she have it. That's the one people has asked for the most.
That is why I'm trying to get you all on. I'm trying to get because I have. Yeah, I need some for my friend, the old lady.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Nurse Maguire, don't forget to send anything for me, please. Yeah.
She'll never forget you, believe me.
Yeah. There was nobody didn't drop nothing. Can you tell me somebody would have dropped some vampires? Nobody didn't come. I don't know if they don't come in tongue yet or what.
No, what happened?
Anyhow.
That's the same person that's speaking about that I lost their contact.
Okay.
So that's I just remember just saying, tell the person called me. That's the same person I wanted to drop the pampers by you, but I lost their contact. So I just
anyhow, I just want to say Have a blessed weekend to everybody. And your cousin from Carriacou passed by me. She went up at him yesterday.
Oh, lad.
Yeah. So you have a wonderful weekend.
All right,
Yeah, and
baby.
God bless. And let's continue praying for our country because you know easy out here, Sheldon. It is. Look, a lady from by me up here went in the hospital yesterday. It's not me. I don't know. I think she will lie. She went to get some ultrasound or whatever, and they tell her the thing don't work in. She came by me and tell me that she listening to your program tonight. So she gonna
Lord.
know who I'm talking about. It didn't have it. The thing don't work in or whatever. So we don't easy out here for the poor people. People who have the money, they could go to Trinidad, they could go to Barbados, they could fly out to America. But people like me, so and others that don't have money, we go there because it is not easy, Sheldon. I'm thinking for sympathy. It is not easy right now for people like me and others in this country. People we struggling. This is not no lie. We struggling. I mean, I was hungry because I steamed my breadfruit yesterday and I leave back 2 flights. But we struggling. I mean, I don't go and beg nobody. I eating my breadfruit. You understand? I steam my sweet potato. But we struggling is a fact. I ain't telling you that for somebody to come and say, oh God, me that. No, I'm telling you what's going on. And it's not me alone.
Reality.
Yes, every person, man and woman that pass and sit down and the terminal waiting for a bus, you hear they bawling. Oh God, it don't easy out here, no? It don't easy. I'm telling you, they want a bag of cocoa and they don't even have the $2. From them, I have to say, well, what one can you always buying from me? But I end up losing because if 3, 4 of them pass and I give them a bag, I lose $6. And look at my condition. Me 2 foot swell. My 2 foot swell. You understand? It's not easy. I pray to the Almighty God to deliver us in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martin. We need deliverance from these wicked people. You have people that go on radio and say, all is well in Grenada. You understand? And we have to be very careful. I want when some of them come on to vote, they tell them come down and vote, they can't go back.
And you know that's a distinct possibility that could actually happen.
You understand? Because a lot of them, as one of my family members tell me, excuse me, if people are dead in America, social security number, some immigration lawyer make up paper for them. When they're going back, they tell them they can, no entry. I want they don't live in here. They're coming down to work, come down. You understand? We gotta pray for we gotta pray for we country. Yeah. A lot of them saying that I don't do nothing for Grenada. Watch, God go turn your mouth in your ear and your back. Give the man what you tell him. Yeah. Grenadians suffering, they're punishing us. And they're coming at you when they know you're supporting NNP. But I don't pray that. You know why? I don't burn for them. Before them, I used to eat and drink. And I am not afraid to speak out when things bother me. A lot of them people being afraid. They pray. You don't trust God. You don't have to pray to speak for your rights. Anyhow, everybody, Miss Yolande Ben, first good night. Mom, Dr. Mitchell, and Miss Emily Pierre, and Ollie. Peter David, good night. I don't even hear you. Anyhow, you all have a blessed weekend and say I want to pray for this little piece of rock that God bless us with. All right, Sheldon, and you take care.
All right,
take care, darling.
You have a good one.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
But Magoya will give you send the thing for you. Send them some.
Yes.
You have people that just come.
And it's extra large they want. It's extra large is the one they want. That's the one that is actually
large and extra large.
Yeah, those
not
two go
small.
the most. Yeah.
Large and extra large. Yeah.
Because I have someone at the hospital in need of right now, so I need to get some.
Well, people need it.
Yeah.
People need. I mean, it rough all over, you know, all
Mhm.
over the world, all over. But we suffer now. The only good thing about us in Grenada, mango coming in season now, and we have breadfruit. When one go, one coming. No, you're laughing. Yes, mango coming in now. Yeah, you have a lot of cabbage. A lot of cabbage on the market. No, people have money. A man bring some for me to help himself. Big cabbage. You could pay $5, $6, $7. You have to give it away for $3. I help my mister today, yesterday, and today. Yeah, all smiling. He said, "What you gonna do?" Yeah. Anyhow, have a good weekend to everybody. Love everybody.
All right,
Don't
Gabby, we
hate,
love you
love
too.
them. Yes, darling. Bye bye.
All right, bye bye. Yes, indeed, folks, we are speaking with Camille. Yes, Miss Camille Teresa Scott. Hope that you have a wonderful weekend this weekend, and I hope that you have a fruitful weekend this weekend. All you pass, even if it's a sweetie, all you buy, pass and buy something by Miss Camille this weekend, yeah? Even if it is a bottle of water. Where that rain come from, Papa Joe? Yeah, a bottle of water, even if it is a soft drink, whatever it is, pass and buy something by Miss Camille. You might see a piece of clothes that you want to buy something by Miss Camille. It might be a biscuit, pass and buy something by Miss Camille. Give her a little support this weekend. Helen Marie, I hope that you're having a wonderful night tonight, Miss Helen Marie. If you don't fall asleep yet, that is. I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight, folks. Just as I go to close off, but I'll take the call. Hello, good night. Hello?
Hello, good night, Sheldon. How you do?
Hey, I'm good, man. How you do?
Good night, Good night, Miss Camille.
Hold on, I was just about to close off because you see the time, but go ahead.
Yeah, wait a second. What I was saying, I always pass Miss Camille and buy my little time and balls. Miss Tammy always had a nice time and balls there.
Yeah, man.
So go and buy it.
Biting.
What I'm saying, Sheldon, I think we were in the school in GB. Well, I know about you, but GBSS, huh? But
nah,
me,
I ain't go GBSS, no.
We have some plays that we read Shakespeare. Much ado about nothing. You understand?
I did that. I did that play for CXC.
And shame on you, Mr. Williams, and shame on you, Mr. Deacon. Today, Sheldon, I've been around the area, the St. David area. Apparently, the PM was in the area one, you know, another one. So apparently, in no land, you know the ground. Let us search. Let us continue searching because apparently looking for oil. Me looking, you know. Anyhow, what I'm saying is that the guys on the ground, to my NMP folks, they are attacking our beloved leader of the party. They are attacking Mrs. Nolan Thompson. They are attacking Mrs. Japal George. They are attacking Jelani Glynn. They are attacking Mr. Diali. Folks, stay strong. Here's what. Do not go on that dream. I'm saying it because I'm seeing NMP supporters, Sheldon. I'm saying it very frankly and clearly. I'm seeing NMP supporters going down the road that they want us to go on to. Let us not go down that road. Watch the voters list, read it carefully, go get it, see what's happening. I have minds. There are people working. Work with the caretakers. You understand? This government is doing things illegally so. And we are seeing it and we are hearing it every day. There's no way in the world a minister can get a loan from a government as a minister. And we've seen what this government doing. Like I said the last time, they are mirroring the MAGA Trump movement.
Boss,
they are doing things that
just remember 10 o'clock gone, eh?
Yeah, what I'm saying, they do it. So let me get on with it. Shall I have a good night?
All right, my brother. Yes, indeed, folks. It is now 4 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. And I've seen 4 on one computer, I've seen 2 on the other computer. It's now 4 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. And indeed, let me see, I didn't reach the goal, so no. If I had reached the goal on the chat, I would have done a program tomorrow night, but no. I needed 10 people to jump in on the chat, And
done a
no,
program
I
tomorrow
don't
night,
see
but-
that. No, I haven't reached the goal. So no, we're not doing program tomorrow night. Yeah, if all you follow the rules, I will do a program on the Friday night. All right. So folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you unconditionally so. And indeed, we want to thank all of you that called during this week. All of you when we were off that were sending the messages. What is going on? A lot of people were worried that something was actually wrong with me. No, I'm okay. Yes, so a lot of people were reaching out to me and trying to find out, Sheldon, are you okay? We're not hearing the program, everything. But you see, we back up and we're running, still doing little improvements to get Studio 3, not Studio 2 now, Studio 3, as close to Studio 1 as possible. So we're still doing one or two little things. You realize the image is not as perfect as we want it to be. So we're doing the one or two things to get those in place. All right. But we are on. All right. So until Monday night, God's willing, we just say a special good night to each and every one of you. I am out. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
This song is dedicated to all the heathen and those that think they can change the course of time. Those that fight against the upright and hot and are too intelligent to overstand that the meek shall inherit the earth. Fire! You can't change the master's plan. Higher, 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 higher. You're giving me a constant fight. You try your best to be my light. Why did you do it? Why? You're sacrificing my good name in your quest for fortune and fame. Why did you do it? Why? My faith is in the God Almighty. And what is His will got to be? With blatant lies and in disguise, you come to criticize. But now I hope it's time you realize you can't keep a good man down. Who God bless, no man shall curse. You can't keep a good man down. In Jaja I put all my trust. That's why I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising. Higher and higher. I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising like a blazing fire. Oh me mama, oh God. Yes, I'm rising and rising high.